Hey, I'm back. Woo! I'm so grateful to be back. Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? I am really excited to be here today. I have been away for a few weeks and it's so nice to come home. It's so nice to come home to Rhythmia. It's so nice to come home to Costa Rica. It's so nice to have a place called home. And boy, am I glad that Rhythmia is my home. I'm so grateful for this place, this beautiful place that has been so transformative for so many people. So I want to talk to you a little bit about Rhythmia really quickly because that's why we're here. And then I want to share with you some things that came up for me over these last few weeks around beauty and the contemplation of beauty and how that works with manifestation. Hey, Candace, what's up? Good to see you. Hey, everybody. Woohoo. Danny, Ben, great to see you. Welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, Katie, that's not Ben, that's Katie. Rebecca, hello. Okay, so guess what's been happening at Rhythmia while I was away? Miracles. Yes. Do you know? I don't know any other company that has a 95% customer satisfaction rate. Right? That's just amazing. 95.86% of people that come through our doors say that they receive a miracle when they come. What is that miracle? That miracle is seeing some aspect of who they've become, some stories, some narratives that we've been telling ourselves that aren't empowering. Seeing what that is, which essentially is separating us from ourselves. Seeing what that is the first miracle. The second miracle is, or the second part of the miracle is merging back to a state of wholeness, erasing, unlearning that lie that we've been telling ourselves and coming back to the truth of who we always already were. We were never not complete. We were never not whole. We were never not perfect. We just told ourselves this story that we weren't, right? It's the second part of the miracle. The third part of the miracle is forgiveness and healing our hearts and forgiving the unforgivable. Those are the three components of a miracle at Rhythmia. When you do those three things, we call it a miracle. And 6 months after people leave the resort, 97.55% of those people say that was the week that changed their lives and that the miracle is still active in their life. That's miraculous, right? We've all been to retreats where 6 months later, or 3 weeks later, or 3 days later, you're like, I don't feel like I was in a retreat. Everything's back to normal. This is something that lasts. It's something that changes us fundamentally for the long term. That's a miracle. That's what happens at Rhythmia every week. This container is so well refined. So I want to invite you to call the number right there, that one, and talk to the phone representatives and let them tell you a little bit more about Rhythmia, because it is, especially coming up to the end of the year, you want to start 2023 anew. Get clean, get yourself, ready, detoxed mentally, physically, and emotionally and spiritually, so that you can step powerfully into 2023. And that, hey Tim, I'm great. I'm looking forward to seeing you in January. So that really plays beautifully into our topic for the day, which is beauty, right? Beauty. Why the topic beauty? There are lots of things that aren't beautiful in the world. What came to me today as I sat and contemplated the beauty that was all around me was that these moments of opening ourselves up to the beauty that's around us are integral parts to our transformation, to see the beauty that's there inherently. But more than seeing the beauty, the other aspect of beauty is it's key to manifestation. Beauty is a key to manifestation. Why? Because we must think about what we're thinking about, what content we're putting in our minds, what we're talking about, who we're talking about, how we're talking about people. Do you notice? I noticed this recently. I was on a retreat, and we're traveling, and you're with 18, 20 people, and people sort of section off, right? You get to cliques that sort of, and it's easy to start talking about someone, about sort of gossiping about them. Sometimes we want to express our feelings. Sometimes something, we want to express something that happened. Something's been frustrating. Somebody bothered us. How do we How do we do that in a way that is beautiful? In other words, I notice that there's an energetic drop. Hey, Diego, what's up, man? There's an energetic drop when I start talking about somebody in a way that isn't supportive. Now, this doesn't mean that, oh, I can't say how I feel or I'm denying my feelings. We call that spiritual bypass. Listen, when somebody upsets you, when something happens that's bothersome and you want to get it out, it's okay to vent. It's okay. You don't have to always couch everything in spiritual language and be all perfect and flowery and always talking affirmative or positive. But when you speak, when you're venting, you want to make sure that you are speaking into a listening that can hold that. In other words, there are some people that you go and talk to and you vent to them and they'll get right into it with you, right? Like, oh yeah, she's a bitch. I know. Oh, she did this to me. And all of a sudden, downward spiral, right? Somebody that just joins in and adds on more, right? There are other people that can listen. Like I have people in my life that I say, hey, I need to vent. Can you just be there to listen to me vent? Like, I don't want to be spiritual. I don't want to be affirmative. I don't want to worry about saying the right things. I just want to express. There are people in my life that I can do that with, and they allow me to do it, and they don't need to add anything in. They don't need to join in. They just listen. Those are the people that you want to work with. Those are the people that you want to rely on when you need to get something off your chest, because it's okay. What you're feeling, we don't want to bypass those feelings. Those feelings are very important. So what does this have to do with the topic of beauty? What are we putting in our minds? What are we talking about? What are we speaking about? What are we thinking about? What are we feeling? What are we saying to ourselves? Those are the things we want to guard. Those are the things we want to keep our eye on in the contemplation of beauty, because what we think about, we bring about. And there's an energetic shift in our bodies, in our field, in our mentality, in our spirituality. There's an energetic shift when we start to go in that downward spiral. Well, if there's a downward spiral, there's got to be an upward spiral. How do we spiral up? That's the question. There's a great song that Ricky Byers wrote called Spiral Up to See the Greater Possibility. The world we live in ebbs and flows inside the things we think we know, but there's a greater love. This is a song. We got to spiral up. How do we spiral up? Well, the first thing is not bypassing the stuff that we're feeling, right? Not denying our feelings. We don't want to suppress our feelings. So if something happened and I'm really triggered, it's okay. Let me find someone that I trust that can be that listening. Hey, I need to vent. You won't believe what happened. And someone that just holds the space. That's the first part. Then how do I shift myself into a deeper realization that it's actually happening for my good? I'm going to show you something. Hold on. This is a whiteboard that I have working on all the things that I got working on. And in the center of it, it says, everything is unfolding in divine perfection. This is my standard. People were making fun of me on this retreat this last time because, wow, that was really interesting, wasn't it? Okay. People were making fun of me on this retreat the last time because I kept saying that and bad shit would happen, or quote, bad shit would happen. And they would be like, oh yeah, you're just saying that. And then it would be proved true. Here's an example. We were on a bus. It was like a 3-hour bus ride. Everybody was ready to get off this bus, right? And we're coming into the city. We were in Cusco, and we're coming into Cusco, and all of a sudden, we're close right by where we need to be, and there's a blockade. And the police say, this size bus isn't allowed into the old town of the city anymore. Well, just this morning it was. What happened? Well, there was a parade. There was something going on, and we couldn't get the bus in. We couldn't get the bus into the old part of the city of Cusco. And the way we could get in was another half-hour drive around the city to another entrance. Everybody was like, oh, God, I don't want to, in a half hour, let us out, we'll walk, all this stuff. And I go, everything's unfolding in divine perfection. They're like, yeah, right, whatever. Like, you're just saying that shit. Excuse me. I got a little bit of a cold. You know what that means when you get a cold? It means you're up leveling. Why? Because a cold or the flu, that what you're feeling isn't the cold or the flu. What you're feeling is your body's immune response to the cold or the flu. So actually, this means I'm healing. This means I'm up leveling. This means my immune system is up regulating. So everything's unfolding in divine perfection, even when it doesn't appear to be. So let's get back to the bus ride. Everybody's pissed about the bus. We don't want to stay on the bus another half hour, all that stuff. And we get to the new entrance. It didn't take us as long as we thought. It only took us 15 minutes. Traffic wasn't as bad. And when we get into that entrance, we got stopped by a parade for Black Jesus. Yeah, the reason why we couldn't get into the city was because it was the festival celebration of Cristo Moreno, the Black Jesus of Cusco. And apparently, hundreds of years ago, when the Spanish conquistadors were, conquistadoring the brutal conquest of Peru, one of the men who was enslaved, notice I didn't say one of the slaves, one of the men who were enslaved, because these are people. They're not slaves, they're men and women that were enslaved by other men and women. Not cool. Anyway, so one of the men who were enslaved by the Spanish painted a picture of Jesus as a Black man. And all these miracles started happening around this painting. That was 500 plus years ago. And hermano, what's up? El Petrino. And so to this day, hundreds and hundreds of years, I think 800 years ago, hundreds of years after, they're still celebrating Cristo Moreno, the Black Jesus. So if we hadn't gotten diverted to go to this other entrance, we would have missed this impromptu celebration of Black Jesus. It was the coolest thing. Here's another example of how everything's unfolding in divine perfection, even when it doesn't appear to be. This is why the topic is beauty, because no matter what's happening, we stay our mind on beauty. We stay our mind on good. We stay our mind on what's seeking to emerge, because something good is always seeking to emerge, even when we can't see it. This is why it's a key portion of manifestation. A key part is the contemplation of beauty, the contemplation of the good, the contemplation of God. This is what shifts everything for us. Here's another example. So I think I've told a few of you this story before, but it's a good story. Let me tell you, it's a cute little story. You're gonna like it. All right. Okay. So I have a car. I'm not my car, but I have a car. It's here in Costa Rica. I left a couple years ago. I had to get the car fixed. The whole engine head had to be replaced. So I take it to the mechanic. They replace the engine head. I'm driving home from the mechanic, and the car starts to overheat. I call the mechanic up. I'm like, hey, the car's overheating. He's like, yeah, you got to bring it back in. I go, I can't bring it back in because I'm leaving the country tomorrow. I don't have time to bring it back in. He said, well, bring it back when you get back in the country. Okay, cool. So I park the car in front of my house and I leave for a month. I go back to the States. Halfway through my trip, my friend calls me, who is at the house, and says, hey, I walked out this morning and your car's gone. Your car was stolen. I'm thinking, oh my God, I was getting ready to fully move to Costa Rica at this time. I had been coming back and forth for a few years. And I finally decided I want to make the move to be living in Costa Rica. So I'm thinking, when somebody calls and says your car was stolen, I go, oh my God, it's a sign. It's a sign I shouldn't be moving to Costa Rica. Something bad is happening, right? That's the first place I went. And my friend said, listen, I'm going to go to Rythmia and we're going to talk to some of the people there and see if they can help. So she goes to Rythmia. The twins, Ariana and Tatiana, that work at the front desk and run the front office, they get a picture of my car and post it on Facebook. I'm thinking, what the hell good is that going to do, right? They post the picture on Facebook and report it to the police. Well, so here's so far all the, quote, bad things that have happened. One, I took the car to the mechanic. It didn't get fixed. That's bad, right? Mechanic not fixing the car right? Bad. And then the car gets stolen. Definitely bad. That gets put in the bad category, right? Bad. And I'm in another country, getting ready to move to this country. Not a good sign. Not a good sign. All this stuff is like bad, 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 bad. Remember, everything's unfolding in divine perfection, even when it doesn't appear to be. So here's what happened. So my friends posted the picture on Facebook. The thieves took the car, drove it hard. Guess what? It overheated. The car overheated, and the thieves had to abandon the car like 30 miles down the road. Now, I would have never found the car 30 miles away on some side road in Costa Rica, but they had to abandon the car. They thought that maybe it was the battery, so they put a new battery in to the car, but then ended up abandoning the car because it wouldn't start. They left the car. A friend of my friends saw the Facebook post, happened to be driving by, identified the car, let us know where it was. We found it before the police came. Now, what seemed to be bad, the mechanic not fixing the car and the car being stolen, was actually good. I got a new battery. I also got a demonstration of the truth that everything's unfolding in divine perfection. And I got my car back, right? Nobody gets their stolen car back. How many people do you know get their stolen car back? I got my stolen car back. This is an example of when we can't see it, something good is always seeking to emerge. The principle states that that life is for itself, that life can't contradict itself. Life is always for more life. We see this in nature, and we're a part of nature. So life itself is as an expansive and productive endeavor. It's looking to produce more, not less. It's always expanding for more. If it's looking for more, not less, then it is fundamentally for itself. It's fundamentally expansive. This is the nature of life, even when we can't see it. You know, you look at a rose bush and it looks like the rosebud is dying. Is that bad? No, it's part of the cycle of life. It's part of the expression of life. Even when it looks like something's dying, it means something new is seeking to emerge. We can have faith and trust in nature. We can have faith and trust in the rhythms of nature so that we can anchor these spiritual truths. This is why the contemplation of beauty is key to manifestation. Key to manifestation and key to solving our problems. So that when something happens, we don't just bypass it. Everything's fine. No, we acknowledge our feelings. We find that person or that place where we can express safely. Oh my God, this is crazy. My car got stolen. Oh my gosh, I'm upset. Oh my God, somebody said something to me. It really upset me. Can you be a place for me to vent? Can I just vent? Okay, you get that out. You connect with those feelings and you let them out. You express them. You don't suppress them. And then you turn towards the truth. We see it all the time. We see it all the time in nature. We see it in our lives that when something looks bad, something good is seeking to emerge. Look in your life. The hardest moments in your life, those moments when your back was against the wall, those moments when you were like, I can't take it, I'm done, I'm going to throw in the towel, those were always the most transformative moments in your life. You were on the verge of a great transformation right then. That's always showing us the truth that even when it looks bad, quote bad, something good is seeking to emerge because there really is no bad and there is no good. It's just how are we interpreting it? So with the car, with our situations in life, we must simply remember this. Everything is unfolding in divine perfection, even when it doesn't appear to be. So our prayer becomes, let me see it. Let me see it. I know there's some good here. I can't see it. Please show me. Show me the good. Show me how this is unfolding in divine perfection. I can't see it right now, but there's got to be some good here. Let me see it. Somebody calls you and their friend gets diagnosed with a terminal illness. You don't say, everything's unfolding in divine perfection, but you know it. You know it for them, and you say something wonderful is happening here. I can't see it right now. I don't know what it is, but something wonderful is happening. This is the way we begin to contemplate beauty. This is the way we honor our feelings, not suppressing our feelings, and at the same time, we can shift to spiral up. We can shift to change our vibration. We can shift to see things in a different way, to look for that which has not yet been made evident. For faith is the substance of things unseen, the evidence of things unseen. So we have to have faith that no matter what the appearances are, something good is seeking to emerge. You've seen it in your life personally. I've given you a couple examples as well from our trip and from my car. Look in your life. Look at the times when you thought something was bad, in the category of bad, and it actually turned out to be better than you thought. So this is why we contemplate beauty. We don't deny our feelings. We don't deny our feelings, but we acknowledge our feelings, find a safe place to express them, and then we shift our attention like the sun, like a flower turns towards the sun. We just turn away from the problem and towards beauty. We turn away from the problem and towards God. We turn away from the problem and towards the good. We turn away from the problem and we say, I can't see what the good is here. Let me see it. Show it to me. Show me. Show me the good. I can't see it, but I know there's some good here because I know what? Everything is unfolding in divine perfection, no matter what the appearance is. Everything's unfolding in divine perfection, even when I can't see it. Everything's unfolding in divine perfection. Let me see it. That's our prayer. That's how we move through those challenging times, contemplating beauty. All right. That's our talk today. I'm so grateful to take this time. I'm so grateful for all of you that joined. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. God bless you. God keep you. God shine his face upon you. And remember that I am not the body. I am free, for I am still as God created me. The peace of God is everything I want. The peace of God is my one goal, the aim of my living here, the end I seek, my purpose, my function, my life, where I abide while I am not at home. That is from the Course of Miracles. May the peace of God be everything that you want. God bless you. God keep you. And I will see you soon. Many blessings.